Greetings, miracle in motion, and a truly warm welcome to this live April 26 in the year 2026. April 26 in the year 2026. I have a few things I want to share with you, and to begin with, I want to remind you that whatever I convey is just another story. It's just another story. I don't claim in any way to present the ultimate truth. So it is up to you to feel if there is resonance or not. Because there are so many stories nowadays, and I ask you, don't believe anything. Don't believe anything without feeling if it resonates or not. Because I will probably say things tonight that you don't resonate with, which is, of course, perfect and as it should. So hopefully I will challenge you with some claims or some suggestions. It's more like I pose suggestions and what if it is like this? What happens if it is like this? Because we are creators of our reality, and we're also creators of new earth. We are creators of whatever we want to create. And maybe the paradise some of us hope to end up when we leave this body, maybe we are in paradise. We just shut our eyes to it. We gave away our ability to see the beauty around us. Who knows? Who knows? And another thing, it's really important to me because I haven't always been here in this position, but I'm not channeling anything. I'm not a medium or whatever. I'm not channeling something from some remote location. What I am doing as a reminder to you, because we all have this, we all have this ability. What I do is that I access this memory bank, our original memory, our original dream. And it's like walking into a library and finding information. And then, of course, it's filtered through my life, my experiences, my frequency. So I'm not channeling anything. I'm reminding you that you can access this library as well, because there is a change. There is something happens when we stop giving our power away to some other dimension or some ascended masters or whatnot. And I was there. I was there. I used to call myself An-Dei. Well, I call myself An-Dei now. I used to, here, it was a name I was giving in my first book, An-Dei. And for quite some time, I claimed to channel information from An-Dei. There was some kind of my guides and I had a team, and I channeled information from my pals in another dimension. And then I asked my guides one day, okay, who are you? Who are you? I said, because I wanted an answer. Who are you? And they said, we are you. We are you. And that, to me, I didn't like it at all. I didn't like it at all. And that reminded me how much I value something outside myself to give me direction, to give me insights, to give me answers, to give me whatever I need. So I put my power in the hands of something I invented. So now An-Dei, it's still with me, and An, I had to Google it because it was just a name, and An means towards. An means towards, and Dei means divinity or to shine in Celtic. If there's some Celtic person here, please correct me if this is not correct. But to me now, An-Dei has become more like a mission statement towards a divinity, towards shining. Because humanity, we really have a choice now to remember what we are, not just who we are, but what we are, and to reclaim our powers, our creative powers, our divine intelligence. And to me now, I've said this before, since I was introduced to this myth or story about Gaia Sophia, we don't have to go far to get direct access to our mother, to our divine parent. It's nature. Gaia Sophia created Earth for her children to live on, to create a suitable habitat, a paradise. And as I see it right now, Thelete, the male counterpart, is the sun. So what if, I'm gonna just throw out some maybe challenging suggestions here. What if there are no ascended masters? What if there are no interdimensional beings who we can channel information from? What if we truly are the ones we have been waiting for? What if we are truly living in paradise? And all we have to do is remember what we are. So I'm not channeling anything. I'm conveying information from this infinite library of wisdom upon which we are living, walking. Every time you walk on earth, barefoot, best, you're caressing a divine being with your feet. I think that's marvelous. It is truly awesome and beautiful. Because beauty is a key word in this equation. Beauty, beauty. I don't know if you dare to feel or just nibble on this claim. There are no ascended masters. There are no one to come and help us because we don't need any help, because we are creators and we are endowed with creative powers. And we have imagination. We can imagine things. Okay, a quick jump to me taking a bath a couple of weeks ago. I just love getting this, as I see it, quite revolutionary insights just from everyday events. And this specific time I was taking a hot bath, and when I was opening the, whatever it's called, the plug to let the water out, I realized there's this strong suction, of course, really close to the outlet. I don't know what it's called. Anywhere, the place where the water runs out. And at the top of the water, you can't feel this pull. But the closer you get to the outlet, the stronger the pull is. And then I got this insight I want to share here, a very symbolic image of a bathtub. It's not mine. So here, a little duck here. Here, the water level, and this water in the bathtub is the old reality. It's the old crumbling reality that is no longer valid. It's degenerative. It is falling apart, it's crumbling, and it is being flushed out, basically. It is being flushed out. And if you're feeling this pull, if you're feeling the world is more and more absurd and you're almost going crazy now and then, it's because you are here. It's because you are here. You are really close to this outlet, to this specific point where the old reality is being flushed out. And if you're here, many people are here, they don't feel anything. I don't feel anything. The world is as it's supposed to be. This reality, I don't feel anything strange at all. And what happens, of course, this is being flushed out. This old reality is being flushed out. And you can see the bathtub is really small in comparison to the reality out here. It's like being in the womb. It's very comfortable, but it's very small in comparison to the world you are being born into. It's quite a change. So what to do? Well, the insight I got from accessing this library of wisdom, which I entice you to do as well, the old reality, just let it play out because it is being drained. It's like an old, cold, dirty bathwater. I mean, you don't want to be there because it's cold and it's dirty and it's murky and muddy. So what we need to do is just let it play out, let it be flushed out. And what happens when we focus on it, when we act upon all this, like go down all the rabbit holes and all the conspiracy theories and all the whistleblowers and all the things we want to fight against. Well, we open the tap. Then we fill it up again. So every time we focus on the old, we open the tap and we keep this reality in place. You say, well, you can't just ignore what's happening. Well, you can detect it, you can be aware of it, but you don't have to fight against it. You don't have to put energy into something. It's like you have, if this was a glass of poison, this is a glass of poison. I can see it, I can detect it, I can be aware of it. It doesn't mean I have to drink it. I can observe it, but I don't have to take it into my body. It's the same with information or news and whatnot. There's so much distractions that wants us to keep filling this old reality because it's being drained. But another vision is that this vent here, or this whatever it's called, it's getting bigger and bigger. So the old reality is being flushed out faster and faster. And then, of course, some powers or some energies, entities that can only live in this old reality, they want to do everything they can to keep this bathtub filled. And it's getting more and more absurd. So let it play out. And if you're feeling it's tight, it's because you are here. You are being flushed out into a new reality. Then, of course, everything of you that belongs in the old reality, you have to leave it behind. It can be old programming, old limitations, old thoughts, old ideas. Because it doesn't belong in the new. It can be challenging. I've discovered a multitude of my old programming and my old triggers and whatnot. But that's a trigger is a treasure map, because if you're triggered, there is something there to be found. And there, enter surrender. Enter surrender. Because surrender, some people say we should never surrender, but surrender is not giving up. Surrender is radical acceptance. Surrender is intense curiosity. Because if I feel something, I try to feel even more. Like this. Feeling, let me see. Here. Oops. Feeling. And at the center of the emotion is the treasure. So to get to the emotion, you have to feel yourself all the way to the center. So if you feel worry, if you feel hatred, if you feel anger, if you feel sorrow, just let it flow through you. This is, well, do whatever you want. This is the only thing that works for me and many others. Because it's not about judging certain emotions. Oh, I'm angry, I'm a bad person. Oh, I feel hatred, I'm a bad person. Oh, I feel worry, I shouldn't be worried because I'm such an awakened soul. I should only be happy and filled with bliss all day long. Well, awakening is not usually blissful to me. It was like I thought I was going crazy many times, but then I realized when I lose my mind, I find something else. So if you feel something, feel it. Don't deny it. Don't attach yourself to it. Don't express it. Well, you can express it, but don't cause harm, because feelings are just feelings. And when you allow yourself to feel them fully, let them flow through you, because this is also something that happens during an awakening, at least according to my experience. You may disagree, but when you raise your vibration, let me see here, different levels of vibration. And when you go from one vibration, we can call it a more locked or limited vibration, and you need to ascend, whatever that means. There are some programs in you that no longer resonate with the new frequency. It's like you upgrade your operating system. There are some apps that don't work because they're not compatible with the new operating system. So when you are awakening, you are remembering what you are, and all the previous programs, they will simply, they don't work. They will crash. So when you're feeling something, you may see it as it's these old programs that are leaving you. And if you push them down, you're keeping apps that is not compatible. So if you're feeling something, it's because you want to leave you. So just go for it, all in. I've said it before, I used to be worried all the time because I thought if I'm not worried, I am not responsible. I am irresponsible. I need to be worried because worry is responsible. Well, one day I got fed up being worried. Since I have a very vivid imagination, I could paint very grim scenarios. But then I went all in. I tried this surrender, and every time I felt worry, I tried to be even more worried. I went all in. Okay, bring it on. Give it to me. Give me your best shot. I love it. Come on. So I opened up fully to it. And then eventually it subsided, and then now I almost never feel worry. And then for a while I was perplexed. I was in some sort of void. And then I realized I had to exchange worry with something else. And then I put in curiosity. So now I'm more into the, I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder how this will pan out. Every day is a new adventure, and there's mystery around every corner, every bend. This is also part of this new myth, this story I have taken to heart about Gaia Sophia and Athelete, and some people say the fallen goddess scenario. I don't like it because the fallen has some negative connotations to it. So I prefer to say the goddess who fell in love, because she fell in love. It was love that made her come here and create Earth. So the goddess who fell in love. That's better as I see it. And it is about the mystery. Embrace the mystery. To accept that I don't understand, and I don't have to understand. Because to me, understanding, if I have a desire to understand, it limits my ability to experience. If I desperately need to understand everything, I need to put it in relation to something I already know. So to me, embrace the mystery means looking at nature, looking at life with the eyes of a child. Everything is new, everything is exciting, everything is something to explore. Of course, it doesn't work every day. Some days I'm just I just think, what is this? But more and more, I tend to be in this. It's a very special state to embrace the mystery and be embraced by the mystery, and not even desiring to understand. And that seems to activate awe and fascination. Embrace the mystery. Okay, something else I discovered, and this is also, of course, just a suggestion. Thank you. This is also a suggestion. I want to share another insight or download or intel, whatever you call it. There's an image, playlists or radio channels, and everything is frequency, of course. Different frequencies, different realities, different way of seeing the world, different ways of being in the world, different ways of acting in the world, different ways of relating to the world, different reference points, if you want. And why do I show this? Well, if we go back to the bathtub metaphor, there are some forces that want you to stay in this frequency band. They want to hold you there because anger and aggression and hatred and frustration or whatever. It is, it's their playlist. And if you want to listen to something else, they will probably invent something to make you listen to this playlist. And you can choose. That's the thing. You can choose what you listen to. You can choose which channel on the radio you tune into. When I was young, you had to like dial or like interference between channels, and you had to find the right channel. Now you usually press a button or whatever, and it's all set up for you. You can scan, if you have a radio in your car, you can just tell it scan and find all the channels available. And then of course you have algorithms now. If you scroll now, I don't have Facebook or Instagram or something like that because I felt it was draining me. But if you scroll and you happen to just pause on an image of a kitten or whatever, it will show you more images of kittens, of course. So that's how the algorithm works. But there's also a divine algorithm that gives you more of the reality you focus on, and that is even more powerful. But I'm gonna throw in something I heard the other week, that there are some discussions about, I don't know if this is true, I don't know, but let's play with it for a while. Let's play with it. Some people say there are some nano chips in our bodies, and they can send signals to them and influence your behavior and your feelings and your thoughts and whatnot. Let's just, for the sake of argument, pretend it is so. But the thing is, let's say we have a chip. Someone managed to implant some sort of chip in you here. Okay. Let's just play with the idea. The thing with this, of course, it only works on this frequency band. If we play with the idea. So if you are here, you can't be reached. You can't be influenced. It doesn't matter. Because it's like you have a radio. I mean, you can, or internet, whatever, you can find whatever you want. Or a radio. You can tune into the station you want to listen to. So if you're up here, let's put a little heart here then. Symbolize love, whatever love is. To me, it's like an open heart. And what's an open heart? Well, that's another discussion. I've been asked to make some kind of open your heart for dummies, or live with an open heart for dummies. And of course, open heart is, well, that's words. We use words to describe something that is beyond description. Because love is a word. I think they said that in The Matrix, one of the movies. Love is just a word. Well, it is. But to me, it's, if I should summarize it in any way, it's this fascination and curiosity and embracing the mystery. If you look at your partner, if you have one, and you realize you're looking at a mystery, you're looking at a miracle. And if you look at a tree, it's a miracle, it's a mystery. You can experience it and see the beauty in it. So to me, love is seeing the beauty. It's being fascinated, it's being curious, it's being in awe. So why do I want to share this? Well, it's all about frequency, and some frequencies can only affect you if you tune into them. This doesn't matter, you should just ignore things, because there's a lot of stuff going on in the world that is not very loving. But it is being flushed out. So let it play out. Let it play out. And there was a sentence from one of my daughter's movies, I don't know, but I remember it. It was, keep calm and break the curse. Keep calm and break the curse. And that's, I think, what it is about these days. We need to keep calm and break the curse. Because there was some time in the timeline, there was one of the insights from this weekend. I spent the weekend in my little cabin off-grid, no running water, no electricity, just nature, wind, it was hail, and I took a swim, and it was very refreshing. Indeed. But yet again, it comes nature. And if you have the ability or the possibility to go out in nature, I truly, deeply recommend that you do, and start communicating with this divine, infinitely wise goddess that is everywhere. And this is, of course, our bodies. It's also made of earth, dust to dust. So this is, of course, also made of earth. Everything is born of woman. Everything is born of woman. These are indeed marvelous times. Okay, I'm going to take... Okay, let's see. Morgan. Hello, Morgan. Choosing is a trap, though, belonging to air thoughts. I would say... Okay, I'll repeat it again. Morgan says, choosing is a trap, though, belonging to air thoughts. It depends, I would say. It depends on who is choosing. Because a river that goes around a rock, it doesn't really choose. It just follows the flow. And I believe, I'm confident that we can live like that as well. Because I use a river as a... Well, nature is my my go-to place to see how things work. Because the river, if it comes to a rock, it doesn't think. It doesn't, how am I going to solve this? I think we need to assemble a group and decide how to deal with this problem. It doesn't even hesitate. And the river is also in connection with source and the sea and everything in between. And the river also needs limitations or restrictions, because the river needs a riverbed. Because if without a riverbed, there's no river. So if we feel our lives are crammed, or like, it's usually because we need some kind of limits. Because some people, I want to be limitless. I want to be... But if you're limitless, you don't even know you exist, because there's no point at which you know you are something. Because if you're without limits, how can you even know that you exist? It doesn't work. So choosing, in a way, I made a video about less choice is more freedom. Less choice is more freedom. If you have 100 toothpastes to choose between, it's usually more confusing than freeing. But if you have one toothpaste or two, it is easier, because you don't need to choose. And that's what happens when you start living your truth, when you remember your original dream, and you remember what you are, not just who you are, but what you are. You don't need to choose, because you always know. There's no hesitation. You always know exactly what to do, what to say in every now. Because you don't need to know what you're going to do in a week. You don't need to know what you're going to say in a week. You can trust your connection to this library. And simply relax into the knowing that you will know what you need to know in every now. Okay, some interesting comments here in the chat. Morgan again, the divine lives in a constant now and paradoxes, while our thoughts are forced to choose. Morgan writes, the divine lives in a constant now and paradoxes, while our thoughts are forced to choose. The divine, I would say, now, they say now is all that exists, of course, but then we have the linear time, which is necessary for the material realm, because the material realm needs the notion or the rules, in a way, of linear time. Because if everything in the material universe would happen at the same time, it would be very confusing. But then again, the material realm, well, 99.99% of the universe is plasmic, is plasma. I can recommend a book, The New Science of Heaven. It's about plasma universe, the electric universe, and it's truly, truly, truly amazing. I don't remember the author right now, but it's another thing. Well, this is my first book. This is in Swedish, The Awakening of a Smiling Warrior. And the thing is, this book was published 2009, and I describe things in this book, how to travel between galaxies and how stars and planets are formed, like in a sort of a twist in the potential. And in this book about the plasma universe, they actually describe these situations with other words, but I find it really cool that I had visions about this, well, 15, 16 years ago. And now I get it confirmed through science, even though I didn't know what I was writing at the time, or I didn't understand the visions. Okay, here's another one. Morgan says, but the linear time is false. Morgan writes, the linear time is false. It depends on what you mean with false, because we experience linear time. And as I said, well, this is how I see it, that the experience of linear time is necessary for the material realm. Because my hair grows, trees grow, so we observe a change, which of course in a linear time we can do it like this. Another little drawing here. Of course, everything is circular. Everything is circular. And time is circular, of course. And when we look at a small part of it, it looks linear, because we don't see the whole picture, because everything is, of course, circular. But when we look at time in a little little part of it, it looks linear, but it's part of a circle. So, of course, everything that exists is now, because the past is the past, and the future is what we create. We are co-creators. And according to this story of Gaia Sophia, it's an open-ended story. I've said it before. There's no set ending to it. It's like we are set free with these divine creative powers and see, okay, what will we do with it? But we have given it away, because these powers can't be taken from us. We can only give them away. And our morphic field, every species on Earth has morphogenetic field that tells it what to do. Like I said, a birch has a morphogenetic field. A squirrel has a morphogenetic field. A hedgehog has a morphogenetic field. Every species, everything on Earth, has a morphic field that tells it what to do and what it is. And the thing with the humans is that our morphogenetic field, is not set. It's not locked. So we have given it away. It has been hijacked in a way. A very long time ago, it's been hijacked. So we have been accepting a truth that we are much less than we truly are. We have given away our powers, and we have accepted limitations. We have accepted I wouldn't say a lie, because everything is truth, but we have accepted a very limited view on ourselves. And like I said before, and as many other people have said, is we are the ones we have been waiting for. Maybe someone isn't coming to save us. Maybe we are the ones we have been waiting for. Okay, interesting. Morgan, you're on fire tonight. Okay, Morgan, all is different perspectives, and the linear perspective is the most dense and narrow, restricted. If you apply a functional mind, cause and effect are in a feedback loop. All is different perspectives, and the linear perspective is the most dense and narrow, restricted. If you apply a functional mind, cause and effect are in a feedback loop. Well, of course, everything is different perspectives. It depends on how you look at things, it depends on how you view things, and it also depends on how locked you are in certain perspectives. I think it was a Buddhist saying, or I don't know, wisdom is the ability to hold multiple truths at the same time. So you can see, well, that is true, that is true, that is true. So the ability to hold different views at the same time without being locked into any one of them. That to me is something I strive for. Okay, that might be true. Is it interesting? Does it give me power? Does it remind me of my power? That's something. If I hear something, if I hear a story, if I hear news, if someone says something, first I think, okay, does this make me stronger? Does this make me more confident? Does this make me remember my divine inheritance? Is this something that reminds me of my divine intelligence, divine creative powers? Does this make me feel expansion? First, if it doesn't, why should I bother? And also, if there's some news or something that's happening, can I do anything about it? And if it's something happening on the other side of the world, it's usually out of my reach, and the only thing that is within my reach is the vibration I put into the field. Because we need to anchor the new vibration. We shouldn't open the tap to this bathtub with the old reality. We should just let it play out, and it will be like it never was. Because when the water is gone, it's like it wasn't there. And this, as I see it, this is what's happening now. But this is, remember, this is just another story. This is just another story. So you have to feel it. Okay, interesting. Morgan, all right. Morgan writes, Immanuel Kant said time, space, and causality is not properties of the thing in itself, but rather categories of human thinking. Morgan writes, Immanuel Kant said time, space, and causality is not properties of the thing in itself, but rather categories of human thinking. Yes, now, of course, we are using words to describe something indescribable. Time, what is time? What is space? And causality. One might say there is tendency for causality, because if I pour this water on my head, I'll get wet. So there is a cause and effect, of course, which is hard to ignore. But yet again, if we are trapped in something, because some people say this world is just an illusion. It's just an illusion. But an illusion, we might say this is just an illusion, that I'm sitting here and I'm talking, and it's just an illusion, and this coffee is just an illusion. Okay, but it exists, so it's not an illusion. But the thing with an illusion is if you think that is the only thing that exists. But if I view this cup of coffee and I realize, okay, I'm made of the same stuff as the coffee. So separation, say, oh, it's just an illusion. Well, separation, I love separation. I love separation because separation gives me the ability to experience. Because oneness is, many people say, oh, oneness, it's so marvelous. Okay, but it's pretty boring as well. If you're one with everything, you can't experience it. Is this old saying, would you rather be the sugar or taste the sugar? I'd say all the time, I'd rather be able to taste the sugar than to be the sugar. But to know and remember that I am the sugar, I am the coffee. But separation makes it possible for me to experience the coffee. So this is this planet, this earth, this manifested dream of this Gaia Sophia. It's an amazing place. Earth is truly a paradise. It's amazing. We have senses, we have a physical body, we can experience things, we can taste things, we can smell things, we can see things, we can see colors, and of course we can get hurt. as part of the deal. If you can feel pleasure, you can also feel pain. Because it's the same, if your ability to sense, of course, opens up for all kinds of experiences. And Kant, I haven't read so much from him, but he was a philosopher, of course, if I'm not mistaken. But I agree. The thing, when you talk about thing, I am reminded of the gift of meaninglessness. Meaninglessness. If you allow something to be meaningless, if you look at a tree, I've talked about this before. If you look at a tree and you allow it to be meaningless, one might think, oh, that's not very nice to look at a tree and say, hey, you're meaningless. But meaningless is not without meaning. It's less meaning. And what you do when you allow yourself to look at something and see it as meaningless, you detach it, you free it from your idea of what it is. Because if you look at a tree, some people see firewood, some people see, yeah, whatever. Depending on your filters or of your eyes, of how you look at the world, you will see different things. So if you allow, and even yourself, if I see myself as meaningless, I release myself from all the ideas and roles I have accepted and put on myself. So allowing things to be meaningless, it's opening up to the mystery in a way. Because you just drop any idea you might have of something. It can be scary, because we are used to having organized, okay, that is that, and that is that, and that's a tree, and that's a frying pan, and that's a glass of water, and that's a pen, and that's a pencil, and that's a car with a steering wheel. But it's a marvelous adventure to step into the mystery and look at things. I mean, if you look at your partner, you may have seen your partner thousands of times. But to look at him or her for the first time, every time, takes some effort in a way. Then again, it doesn't take any effort at all. That's the thing. Most of this awakening or changing timelines or remembering the original dream and remembering what you are, it doesn't take any effort. It takes relaxation, because as someone said, it's not about learning new things. It's about unlearning everything you have accepted that's stopping you from being all that you are. Morgan, yeah, you're on fire tonight. Cool, I love it. Morgan writes, if you only have a hammer, all problems tend to be nails. If you only have a hammer, all problems tends to be nails. So true. And I usually see it as different levels. At one end, you have the problem seeker. You seek problems everywhere. And then you have the problem solver. That okay, I'm a problem solver. The problem with a problem solver is that if you don't have any problems, your identity is gone. So a problem solver without any problems to solve will end up in a problem, because what should you do? And then, of course, the next level, you have the problem seeker, that you need to have problems, and then you have the problem solver, and then you have the solution finder, which is more, I'm a solution finder, which is, well, it's softer in a way, solution finder. But then again, if there aren't any problems to solve, if you don't need to find any solution, also your identity is, well, it's gone. Then at the other end, opposite of the problem seeker, you have flow, basically. It's that the river and the rock. You don't even consider it something to solve, you just flow with it. And that's also a natural law that we humans tend to ignore or believe doesn't apply to us. It's the path of least resistance. Everything works according to the path of least resistance. So our lives look the way they do because that was the most efficient thing that could manifest. It was the path of least resistance. And the path of least resistance is not the path without resistance. But usually we humans, we are programmed to work hard. And if you work really hard for something, if you work really hard and you make it, it is, then it's valuable because you struggled. You really struggled. You put in so much effort, you put in so much energy. You gave it all and you maybe almost died, but you made it. Okay, then we value this. It's like, it's really good to work hard, to use a lot of energy to accomplish something. But then when you have a car, if you have a car and the mileage is great, you can drive like 100 kilometers on 1 liter of gas, then it's good because it uses as little energy as possible to accomplish something. Then in a car, it's really good because if you have a car and say, yeah, this car, it takes so much gas. It is incredible how much gas this car uses to take me from point A to point B. It is amazing. Then we don't really see it as something good. And that's also another axiom I tend to love, which is how nature works. Maximum beauty, minimum effort. Maximum beauty, minimum effort. A flower doesn't struggle, a river doesn't struggle, rain doesn't struggle. It's just life expressing itself. Which doesn't mean we shouldn't, of course, use energy to create something. But for my own sake, I've realized when I use this creative energy that flows through me, it's no effort. For someone on the outside looking at me, it may look like I'm working really hard, but it's like playing. It's play. It's like pure expression because it gives me energy. It doesn't deplete me, it gives me energy. So when this creative force flows through us, when it flows through us, it also fills us with energy. But if we feel depleted, we're probably not using this infinite river of creation. Maybe we're using just a little bottle of water. Oops, it's empty, I have to refill it. And when we are truly depleted, when something is depleting us, maybe that's not what we're supposed to do. But it takes as far as I have experienced, it takes some self-reflection to like, okay, I'm only going to have fun. I'm only going to do things I love. I'm only going to do things I truly enjoy. I'm only going to do things that fill me with energy. Then some people may say, well, I love spending time on Facebook. If I could, I would spend all my waking time on Facebook. But then we come to desire. We come to desire because usually, well, he didn't really say it as far as I understand, but there's some saying anyway that Buddha said desire leads to suffering. From what I understand, he didn't really put it like that, but let's play with it. Desire leads to suffering. But there are two kinds of desire, maybe more, but let's simplify things. Two kinds of desire. Consuming desire and creative desire. Consuming desire, it's a desire to fill a void inside. So you need to consume. You need to buy things, you need to scroll through things, you need to watch things, you need to consume, you need to take things in to fill a void, which is impossible because this void, it's impossible to fill from the outside. So that's consuming desire, which leads to suffering. Then there's creative desire. It's this desire to create. It's when you are filled with this creative power, you are filled with this desire, and you need to let it out somehow. You need to let it out. And that is creative desire. Because you just want to create, you just need to do things. You just need to paint or write or record videos and that is a desire that comes from being full. It doesn't come from a void. So consuming desire probably leads to some sort of suffering because you can never fill this void. And then creative desire, which everything is a tree, a flower, everything has this creative desire, just bursts out. And now in Sweden, it's springtime. Everything is coming alive. There's leaves everywhere and flowers and whatnot. And that's creative desire. And that's simply life expressing itself. Here first. This one. Morgan, I hope and think you realize that we share more or less the same attitude to life knowledge. Morgan writes, I hope and think you realize that we share more or less the same attitude to life knowledge. Yes, I have that feeling, and I truly love to exchange ideas, exchange truths, and experience life together because we need each other. Everybody, we can't, even if we need to go through our awakenings or processes on our own, it's like no one can eat for me. I need to eat for myself. But we can eat together. We can go through this together and support each other. Give each other nourishment, support, encouragement, because we need it. These are challenging times, but also marvelous times. Okay. Morgan again, repressions of desires will lead to distorted desires, perverted and neurotic behavior. Morgan writes, repressions of desires will lead to distorted desires, perverted and neurotic behavior. I agree, and also I would like to go back to different kinds of desire. If your desire means you need something from the outside to fill a void, I think that is based upon lack. But if you have a desire that comes from you being full, of course, if you repress your creative flow, it will also make you feel uncomfortable, because the flow of life never stops. So if it can't flow through you, it may turn back on itself, and you may feel, I realized if I don't let this creative flow flow, I get this uncomfortable feeling because I have kind of limited the flow through me. Okay. Oh, I see. It's after 9. I'm gonna wrap this up. But first, Morgan. Many thinks that the proper way to deal with desires is to suppress, oppress, and fight against them. Morgan writes, many things that the proper way to deal with the desires is to suppress, oppress, and fight against them. Again, it depends on what kind of desire, but then again, I think if you openly accept your desire, if you have a desire to scroll through Facebook infinitely, this infinity scroll, if you accept it and don't judge yourself, because judgment is like a filter that hinders you to see what is really happening. So if you, okay, why am I doing this? What does it give me? Because if we truly accept something, we may see what we are seeking through it. So there's also a surrender to this desire. And okay, I have this desire to, I don't know, run around naked. I don't have it in particular, but if you have it, okay, why? Maybe you feel trapped, maybe you just want to get out, maybe you, yeah. But if we accept something, it's the only way to see through it and not judge ourselves, not put any moral judgment on it. Because that's the thing. You can evaluate all the time. We need to evaluate. Is it cold outside? Is it dark? Is the coffee hot or warm? You evaluate. But you don't need to judge. Because to judge, you need to take a moral stance and decide, okay, this is wrong. This is right, according to what I think. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up, and I truly thank you for taking part in this live, and thank you, Morgan, for posing a lot of interesting topics to touch upon. And it is truly a mystery, and I say again, we are the ones we have been waiting for. We are the ones we have been waiting for. And as always, with love, with an open heart, I truly wish you and your loved ones all the best. And may you remember what you are. May you remember what you are. See you soon.